Good morning, friends. Can you believe you're getting another vlog from me 2 days in a row? It's amazing. The vlog that you saw yesterday was actually filmed last week, but since it was part of a collaboration, it had to be uploaded yesterday. And the reason I did it a week early is because whenever I participate in a challenge or a collaboration, I like to start the process of filming as early as I can, just in case something happens. You know, anything can happen when you're working with technology. So I just wanted to make sure that I had the film, the video filmed and edited and ready to go. So I gave myself a week to get all of that done. So everything you saw yesterday actually happened a week ago, but the video you're seeing today, which is Wednesday, was filmed on Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, January 29th. I always have to check the calendar because I can never remember the date. The reason why I'm vlogging again today is because I wanted to do a update on the first month of my no-buy year, and it was really very uneventful, but we'll talk about that more later. And I knew there wasn't going to be enough content for an entire video just on that. So I thought, well, why don't I just vlog? I've got a lot to do today, and I will talk about my no-buy year in my vlog. So the main things I want to get done today is I do want to talk about my no-buy year, the first month. I have a lot of food prep I want to get done today, and I want to show you a project that I've completed and introduce you to our new resident that we have in our house. So let me do that first. I'll take you down in the basement and show you our newest resident. Well, you can't really see him except for his hind end, but this is Sprinkles, our rabbit, one of our rabbits. He is an elderly bunny. We tried to figure out how old he is. He used to be my dad's rabbit, and he used him for a stud because my dad used to raise meat rabbits. And so Sprinkles here was the stud. He was the daddy to all the rabbits that my dad would butcher and put into the freezer. Well, time went by. My dad got feebler, he had some health issues, couldn't take care of the rabbits, and so we started taking care of the rabbits. And after a couple of years or a year or so of doing that, we decided, with my dad's permission, to get rid of all the rabbits except for Sprinkles here. He's old. When my dad got him, he was an adult, and so Olivia and I were trying to figure out how old he is. He is at least 10. We pretty much know that for sure, but he may be as old as 13. And he's getting elderly, and he's getting feeble. He has difficulty with mobility, and he was an outside rabbit. He was out in the outside pen and doing just fine. But we are in for an Arctic blast. Starting tonight, the temperature is supposed to just plummet. Right now, it's about 7 degrees outside, and tomorrow they are calling for a high of -17 actual temperature, and it could be as low as -30 or -50 with the wind chill. Now that's Fahrenheit. For those of you who live in Canada or in other countries, I can't convert that to Celsius, so you guys will have to convert it. But it is going to be bitterly, bitterly cold. We are providing as much food and water and good shelter, lots of hay and straw for bedding for all of our outside animals. We are really going to bunker them down for this cold blast that's coming, and I think they're all going to do just fine. But we were concerned about old Sprinkles. The elderly, the young and the old always suffer the worst in extreme temperatures. And he's old, and we really felt like he may not survive that Arctic blast that's coming. So I was chatting with my friend Kim from Hancock Homestead and Gardens about it and just telling her that we were really concerned for him. And I don't know why we didn't think of it, but she suggested, right away she suggested, well, do you have a pet carrier? Maybe you can bring him in and put him in the basement, at least until this severe cold is past. And I'm like, genius, I didn't even think of that. We have a ton of pet carriers, and we also have that metal cage that you saw that he was in. And so Olivia and I worked last night and got that all set up for him, and we brought him in this morning, and he seems to be doing really well. And I think what we're going to do, because he is so old, he is feeble, he has mobility problems, that we're just going to make him a house pet until he passes away, which probably won't be all that much longer. But I did tell Olivia, my house better not start stinking like Rabbit. She is in charge of making sure that the puppy pads, we have puppy pads in there, get changed frequently, because I don't want my house stinking like wildlife or wild animals. I have raised chickens in this house and they stink to high heaven. I have raised ducks in this house who are horribly messy and very stinky. And I told her, I said, I don't want my house stinking like Rabbit. So she better take good care and make sure that cage stays clean. But that's the story of Sprinkles, our elderly rabbit. He is now in his retirement age, or he is now in his dotage years, and he is in the retirement home called Our Basement. This is the project that I completed that I wanted to show you. If you remember in yesterday's vlog that you saw, I was just starting this Afghan, and I was so motivated to get it done that I spent just about every night watching either YouTube videos or different television programs and working on this Afghan, and I finished it last night, and I think it is gorgeous. I think it turned out perfect. This is exactly what I was wanting. I went with, you know, the Pioneer Woman colors, and I decided to go with gray as the 5th color instead of white, and just using white as the border color in between the blocks. I decided gray would go well because my kitchen cupboards are gray, and it would be, I don't know, I just thought it would be prettier with gray rather than white blocks. Here's the back side of the Afghan. And the block that I just hated making was this one here with the hearts. It was such a pain. It wasn't that difficult. It was anyway, I was saying, but my memory got full, and I'm like, why did my memory get full? So I went down and was taking the photos off my camera and the video off my camera, and I realized that the last several videos that I filmed didn't delete off the camera like they were supposed to. No wonder my memory got full so quick. Anyway, what I was saying was I did not enjoy crocheting this block. It was a pain. And so by the time I got down to the final color, which this teal blue was the last color I did, I was like, I just can't bear to crochet this pattern one more time. So I found a different pattern, and it's this one, which can't, it looks better from the other direction. Let me flip this around. There we go. It's called the Crocodile Scales, and this was so much easier and more fun to crochet than the heart one. So this is the only one on this Afghan that's like this, so I kind of put it in the center of the Afghan. But anyway, I think that turned out spectacular. I'm really, really pleased with it. But while I was downstairs, I got a phone call from my bank, and come to find out, my husband's debit card got, the number on it got stolen, and there's been fraudulent charges being made for the last couple of days, and I would never have caught it until I do bills. I do bills at the end of the week, and I wouldn't have caught it if they hadn't caught it, and I'm so glad they did. There was charges on us for Starbucks and for gas at a gas station in Michigan, and I was like, that is not us. Like, anything that got charged in Michigan was not us. But what a pain that is. So now my husband's debit card is frozen, or basically canceled, and he's going to have to get a new card issued. What a pain. Why do people have to be so nasty and thievery? We don't have a lot of money, and thank goodness my bank caught it. Thank goodness they caught it, because my balance is really low now because people stole my money. But thankfully they will. Teachers Credit Union is where we bank, and they are very good about returning fraudulent charges back to our account. So we should be getting the money back very quickly, but man, that's aggravating. People think they just can get something for nothing these days. And like Olivia was saying when I was talking to her about it, she's like, you know, it'd be one thing if the charges were at a grocery store or something like that, or a doctor, and the people, you know, were desperate and that's why they stole our card number. But Starbucks, come on. Come on. I love coffee as much as the next person, but to steal someone's money to buy a dang coffee? Oh, frustrating. It is 12:15 and it's time for lunch. So I'm going to go ahead and eat before I get started on the food prep. This is some leftovers from what we had for dinner last night, which was one of the freezer meals, the chicken tater tot bake that I made in the mega freezer cooking video that I did a couple weeks ago or last week. And I'm going to be having one of these Coca-Cola Life with it. And it's sweetened with cane sugar and stevia. So yeah, I'm going to go eat this and then we'll get started on food prep. And by the way, this is really, really yummy. It's definitely a crowd pleaser in my family. One of the things I'm going to do today to get into the freezer is I'm going to make up some pancakes. I make big batches of homemade pancake mix, and I keep it in this jar. And I have the recipe of the wet ingredients that you need to add, how much mix, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of oil, and 1 1/4 cups water for pancakes. And then on this side I have for waffles. It's a little bit different. So I went ahead and tripled this recipe, and I have the batter ready. I'm going to get my griddle out, and we are going to fry up some pancakes for the freezer. Sounds as if Artie is going to serenade us while I make pancakes. He's so funny. Funniest little bird. So while I'm making these pancakes, I thought I would discuss my no-buy year experience so far. So I've had a few ups and downs with my no-buy year so far, and it's just the first month. But I think, you know, I think the first couple of months are going to be the hardest. I think the saving grace that has happened this month is the fact that I started using the shop online pickup service from Walmart. Walmart was my hardest place because for impulse buying, I should say, because I'm sure it is part of their marketing plan to rearrange things in the store quite often. So I would literally spend 2 hours in that store when I'm doing my shopping, and that's a lot of browsing time. And if you're feeling, you know, vulnerable to impulse buying, it's a perfect opportunity to impulse buy. So the fact that I was able to actually stay out of the store for the entire month of January definitely helped. Now, I did have to go into the store one time to pick up a prescription for Scott, and a couple other things. I can't remember. We ran in for a prescription and a couple of things that I had forgotten on my list. And Olivia was with me, and I'm like, you make sure I don't veer off from my, you know, course here. And I had to walk right past the home decor stuff, and oh, I'm telling you, it is so tempting to stop and look. And with me, it's like if I see something that's really cute, and you know, Walmart prices are really good, you know, something for $4 or $5, I was like, oh, it's only $4, only $5, and it winds up in my cart. And so those $4 and $5 items, they add up. So just that one time in the store, I was like, I saw stuff, I'm like, oh, that is so cute. And Olivia was with me, and we're like, no, no, don't even look, don't even look. Walked right past the stuff. But I'm telling you, it is really hard for me, especially for home decor items, because they come out with new things all the time, and such cute things. So, you know, that was a definite struggle, and I'm so thankful that my store now has that service where I don't even have to go in the store. Now, the next time I go shopping, I'm going to have to go in the store to pick up prescriptions again. That's going to be like once a month, obviously. And so that's going to be another time when I'm just going to have to, you know, not give in to temptation. Olivia, can you take these and put them on the cooling rack in one single layer, and then bring the plate back to me? I tried to figure out how much money I've saved this month by curbing my impulse buying shopping habit. And it's really hard because I didn't track it last year, so I have nothing to really compare to, other than, you know, if I sitting down and really thinking about, you know, how much money did I actually spend? How many impulse items actually got put in my cart every time I went into the store? And I would imagine that I probably impulse buyed, that's not correct English, impulse bought probably $50 every shopping trip. So I would say for the month of January, I've saved $100 so far by not, you know, not going into the stores and just controlling my impulse buying. Another thing that I found with this no-buy year, that when I am in the store, I really do think twice about what I am about to purchase. Sorry about my throat. I woke up with a sore throat this morning and a little bit of a runny nose, so hopefully I'm not coming down with something. So, you know, that's an advantage to doing something like this when you are, you know, thinking about everything that you purchase. It does change your thought processes. There has been a couple of items that I had to purchase for replacement, like my kitchen rug. I explained that in my last grocery haul. And then I had to buy some more hyaluronic acid from Swanson's. I use that every single day, and I mean, there's like maybe 2 more servings, that's not the right word, 2 more amounts that I can use before it'll be gone. So I did purchase those 2 replacement items. I don't think there was anything else I bought that was in the beauty and home decor department that were replacements. I did buy some DIY supplies, which was perfectly acceptable in my rules. I bought some yarn for that afghan that I showed you, and a few other items for DIY projects. The only thing I bought, which I would say is a cheat, was one thing I bought from Dollar General, and it will be in my next Dollar General haul. You will see it. One piece of home decor item that I just could not say no to, and I thought it was only $1, so if I'm going to mess up, I'd rather it be for $1 than something more. I am going to try to stop that though, because sometimes, you know, Dollar Tree is just as bad for me as Walmart as far as impulse shopping. But on the other hand, they have really good supplies for DIYs and crafts, so I'm not going to not go into Dollar Tree. I'm just going to have to, you know, use my self-control. The only other thing I can really comment about this month, the month of January, is that I have found, and I'm learning about myself, that I shop for emotional reasons. I impulse shop. A lot of people impulse eat or emotionally eat. I emotionally shop. And the reason I know that is because the other day I was so utterly depressed. I don't even know why. I woke up that morning depressed, and I was depressed all day. I was just in a funk, was crabby, and I was just depressed. And I don't know if it's because of the time of the year, because of the, you know, lack of sunlight, could be the time of the month, you know how women have those issues. I don't know what it was, but I was so tempted to go on Amazon and shop and buy stuff. But I didn't. I controlled myself and I didn't do it. But that did open my eyes to the fact that I do emotionally shop. I shop when I'm happy, for fun, and I shop when I'm sad and depressed because it gives you kind of an adrenaline boost to buy something new. So that is what I've learned about myself, that I have to stay out of the stores as much as possible and not shop when I am feeling emotional. So that is my wrap up for January. My no-buy year is going well. It's not been easy. There are times when I've really wanted to shop, and but yeah, it's a good experience. I'm learning a lot about myself, which is good, and hopefully I'll have some money to show for it at the end of this year. Alright, I'm going to put this video into fast motion and finish cooking up these pancakes. So now I'm going to cut up these avocado, put them on a tray flat, and put them in the freezer to be used for smoothies. I've heard people use them for smoothies in the past, and I always thought, oh, gross. But I actually tried it a while ago, and it's really, really good. You can't taste the avocado. I like the taste of avocado anyway, but you really can't taste it when you mix it with other things, but it adds a really, really, really yummy, creamy texture to your smoothie. So I was sold on it. So I went ahead and bought several avocado when I was in town last week, and now I'm going to get them ready for the freezer. I'll freeze them flat like this, then put them in a baggie, and then I can just use them for smoothies. Well, I had ended up having 2 out of the, I think 6, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 2 out of the 6 that were really yucky, like that. So I think those are just bruises, but I'm not gonna use those. That's just too yucky for me. But there's enough avocado here for several smoothies, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the freezer. Now I'm going to get these 2 bags of carrots peeled and cut up into carrot sticks. And I have a pork roast in the crock pot right now with some potatoes, and I'm going to go ahead and add some of these carrots in the crock pot for our dinner tonight, and then the rest will go in a baggie for snacking on. Have all of those carrots done, and these are the ones I'm going to throw in the crock pot with my roast. The only other thing I want to get prepped today is a head of celery for Scott, because he said he'd like celery for a snack. So I triple washed this celery. The first bowl of water had some hydrogen peroxide in it. The second bowl had just a tiny drop of dish soap in it. And then the third bowl was just clean, clear water. I really like to wash my vegetables well, especially if they're going to be eaten raw. So I'm going to go ahead and get these put in a baggie. Then all of the leaves from the celery are going to go in this bag and go downstairs for the bunny. So the only thing I'm going to be throwing away is the little root end of the celery. Alright friends, I think I'm going to wrap this vlog up here for today. Thank you so much for joining me as we brought in that old rabbit and rescued Sprinkles from the Arctic blast that's coming. And as I prepped some vegetables and things for the freezer and for the family. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. That helps my channel out a lot. And if you live in the area of the Midwest, the North, up into Canada, who's expecting this horrible cold front that's coming through, stay warm, stay safe, don't go out unless you absolutely have to. And if you have outside animals, make sure they have shelter and plenty of food and water. Thanks a lot for watching, friends, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.